Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're actually tearing down the literal engine of the modern AI revolution, CPU versus GPU architecture. If you've ever found yourself wondering what is truly under the hood of these massive large language models or the latest advanced computing systems, well, you are in the exact right place. Let's dive in. So, why exactly can a GPU train these massive AI models dramatically faster than a CPU? I mean, it's basically the multi-trillion-dollar question driving today's entire tech boom. To really grasp this, we need to understand why these two computing processors, which, might actually seem pretty similar on the surface, are architecturally just entirely different beasts. At a foundational level, they just have completely different job descriptions. The CPU, or central processing unit, is your system's primary orchestrator. It acts as the central manager, coordinating the entire system, handling program execution, and managing your overall memory. Now, on the other side of the equation, the GPU, or graphics processing unit, is a highly specialized engine. It was built from the ground up for massive parallel computation and churning through repeated mathematical workloads. Think of it like this. The CPU is basically a highly adaptable executive manager. This manager can handle complex, totally unexpected situations, make really flexible decisions, and seamlessly coordinate a bunch of different teams. Now imagine hiring 10,000 workers to perform simple, repetitive tasks at the exact same time. That is your GPU. They have totally different roles and strengths. One prioritizes deep intelligence and flexibility, while the other prioritizes sheer volume and repetition. And that dynamic brilliantly illustrates the core computing concept separating them: sequential versus parallel processing. Sequential processing, which is the CPU's domain, means tasks happen one right after another. You process an instruction, make a decision, and then move on to the next. It's absolutely brilliant for complex logic, but it creates a massive bottleneck if you just need to crunch raw numbers. And that's exactly where parallel processing steps in. The GPU executes thousands of operations concurrently, completely independent of one another. Let's put this into a real-world context. When you open a web browser, it's a strict sequence of dependent steps. The system has to load files, allocate memory, verify your security permissions, initialize network connections, and finally create the actual user interface. A GPU would actually be terrible at this because it just can't handle the dependent step-by-step logic required to get you online. That is an absolutely ideal sequential workload for the highly sophisticated cores of a CPU. On the flip side, what about rendering a high-definition image? We're talking 10 million individual pixels here, and each one needs its color calculated independently. It naturally divides into millions of simultaneous tasks, making it the perfect parallel workload for the thousands of simpler cores packed into a GPU. And to really put that into perspective, modern screens demand this massive 10 million pixel calculation anywhere from 60 to 120 times every single second. Crazy, right? Another great way to visualize it: it's essentially the difference between a few elite sports cars navigating complex city streets and a massive fleet of 10,000 delivery trucks cruising down a straight highway. The trucks definitely aren't winning any nimble street races, but their payload capacity is completely unmatched when moving enormous amounts of data all at once. Now, to understand exactly how they're optimized under the hood, we really have to talk about latency. CPUs are hyper-focused on low latency. When you click your mouse or hit a key on your keyboard, you want an instant reaction. CPUs are built to guarantee that snappiness. They prioritize extremely fast response times for single, critical events. GPUs, on the other hand, they are totally obsessed with throughput. They really don't care how fast one single data packet arrives. They care about moving an absolute mountain of data by the end of the millisecond. This high-volume approach is exactly what you need to churn through intense video rendering or vast mathematical repetitions. And this right here brings us to the actual secret sauce of artificial intelligence. Training an AI neural network requires billions, literally billions of independent repetitive calculations, things like massive matrix multiplication and tensor operations. Because the vast majority of these calculations can occur completely independently of one another, it is the ultimate parallel workload. The GPU's high-throughput architecture and AI models were basically made for each other. But in reality, it's actually a symbiotic relay race. When you're training a neural network, the CPU is the one loading that massive dataset from storage and prepping the memory allocation. Then it hands the baton to the GPU to relentlessly crush the parallel matrix multiplications and compute the gradients, while the CPU stays in the background, expertly managing the overall schedule. So you might be thinking, well, why can't the GPU just do the whole thing? The catch is, GPUs basically freeze up when they're faced with heavy branching logic, those complex if-then decisions, if this condition is met, do this, otherwise do something totally different. Operating systems and standard software thrive on these branching decisions, which CPUs absolutely excel at. GPUs really only shine when they're executing identical operations across thousands of threads. And we see this exact same processor dream team every time we fire up a modern video game or access cloud infrastructure. The CPU is in there calculating the complex game logic, the physics, and the network connection. Simultaneously, the GPU takes that foundational data and paints the stunning 3D lighting, textures, and reflections right onto your screen. It is always a collaborative effort. So, with GPUs stealing all the headlines right now and powering these trillion-dollar data centers, it definitely begs the question, can GPUs eventually just completely replace CPUs? Well, the answer is a definitive no. Not a chance. Because GPUs excel strictly at those highly specialized parallel workloads we talked about, they lack the complex intelligence required for system orchestration. Without a CPU to run the operating system and manage the hardware itself, a GPU is effectively useless. One simply cannot survive without the other. Which brings us directly to the future of computing infrastructure. The future of data centers is not about one massive universal chip. It's all about heterogeneous computing, weaving CPUs, GPUs, and custom AI accelerators into a single, unified ecosystem where everybody plays to their strengths. Specialization improves efficiency, and combining these distinct processors is exactly how modern computing achieves its incredible power. Okay, let's quickly bust a few hardware myths before we wrap up. First off, GPUs are not just faster CPUs. And as we said, they are definitely not going to replace them. Also, cramming more cores into a GPU doesn't automatically guarantee better performance, unless your software is explicitly written and optimized to take advantage of that parallel processing. The software matters just as much as the silicon.
So, a specialized hardware ecosystem working perfectly in sync is the ultimate key here, which leaves us with a final, kind of provocative thought to chew on. Since GPUs are out there churning through millions of operations simultaneously, how do they actually get fed data fast enough? Like, why do they require their own massive, super expensive banks of dedicated memory just to survive? Think about that for a bit, and we'll dive straight into the fascinating world of VRAM in our next explainer.